Hello guys, this is Jesper from YACSS. In this video I will show you how to upload a website to Netlify using GitHub and YACSS. Alright, so let's get started. So what you need is an account in GitHub, and so the prerequisite for this video is that you have an account on GitHub already. The next step is that you need to log into your GitHub account first, and I just created a GitHub account on my email, jesperlist.com. So I'm logged in here, and then you need to go to netlify.com. And Netlify is a cloud host that offers free hosting. They have this free package, starter package. And you can, as far as I can tell from their website, you can upload up to 500 websites on there in the starter plan. So yeah, so you need to sign up and sign up with GitHub. Netlify out by Netlify, it wants access to my account, and I'm saying authorize. How are you planning to use Netlify? Work, web app, I don't know, marketer, just me. Yes, but listen.com. This, continue to deploy with GitHub. Netlify by Netlify, would like permission to verify your GitHub identity? I'm saying yes. And I am now authorized, and install on your personal account jesperlist.com or jesperlist.com or repositories. I'm just saying yes. And of course, no repositories found because I didn't upload anything yet because my account is brand new. So let's see, configure Netlify on GitHub. I don't think I need to do anything actually because I already connected. So now I'm connected. I can just click. Let's see here. If I delete this up here, good. All right, so now I'm actually in. So that was super easy. Click billing, and I am on starter, which is the free plan. All right, so now I have signed up to Netlify and connected it to GitHub. So now I need to go to, I made a tutorial for myself. So now I need to go to YACSS. Okay, so the first step is that you have created a website in YACSS. And the first step is that you upload it to GitHub in a new repository. And let me show you how to do that. So I will create a website, and it will be a super fancy website, super fancy website. Good. And let's see the super fancy website. That's how it looks. Just for fun, let's do image SEO. Super fancy website one. I don't know how this will look. I don't know what DALL-E comes up with for super fancy website. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look good, but yeah. Let's just use this as the banner. See. Yeah, okay. It is a super fancy website. Anyway, now I'll click generate, and now the website is done. So I go to my websites, and I go over to the right side. I click upload to clouds, and I select GitHub. And I select my client and my account, which is testing 1, 2, 3. So the special thing is that you need to specify the domain URL. And in the case of Netlify, the domain looks like this, https. And then I need to specify the subdomain. So Netlify is no different than most of the other clouds, and that is that you get a subdomain from the mother and father domain. And so you need to know, of course, if the domain is free. And I plan to use super fancy website, fancywebsite.netlify.app. So I check, no, site not found. Okay, so I can use super fancy website as my subdomain. Super fancy website, so I type it like this, super fancy website.netlify.app. Let's see if I made any spelling errors. I don't think so. And I will create a new repository. So Denmark 2. So the reason that you need to do this, the reason that you need to specify the domain URL is because when we're uploading to GitHub, that's not the final URL. The final URL is the Netlify URL. So you need to specify in advance how the URL structure will be, because GitHub does not know what YACSS does, what YACSS knows. So we upload to GitHub, GitHub uploads to Netlify. So it doesn't matter if you don't understand it, just do what I do. Do what I tell you, do what I show you, even if you don't understand it. The repository names are just names. They're not used for anything to, in the domain names or in the URLs. It's just used as an identifier for you to recognize what's going on. So I could have called it super fancy website, actually. That would probably have been a more fitting name. Let me just make a super fancy website. Super fancy website. Probably a little bit more easy for myself to remember also. So I click upload, and now it's uploading. And I will take a sip of water. Did it finish? I'll click refresh. Yeah, so I just had to click refresh, and now it's done. So I have this URL. So let me just copy this, or just go to this. And of course it doesn't exist yet because I'd only uploaded it to GitHub. But I will remember this. So now I go to Netlify. So now I'm going to show you how to actually deploy the site from GitHub to Netlify. And let me just change GitHub account because, log in with GitHub. No, that's wrong. No, let me just log out again and sign out. And sign out from GitHub because I need to sign into the real account. Sign in. So Denmark. And I go to Netlify, log in with GitHub. Log in with email. Jesper@SEO Denmark. Yes. Okay, so now I'm logged into the SEO Denmark account on GitHub and Netlify. All right, so let me just check in my GitHub account. Let me show you here. Dashboard. I have my repositories over here to the left. SEO Denmark super fancy website. And I see the image folder and all the files that has been created for this website. Super fancy website, and I can see the code here. All right, it is uploaded. So I go to Netlify here, and over in the left menu, I click on sites. Over in the right side, I click on the button add new site. I click on the menu item here, import an existing project. Deploy with GitHub. I click here. So now Netlify connects with GitHub and it inspects, and you're able to see the projects that you have inside of GitHub. Why does it do this? Let me just try one more time. Deploy with GitHub. Yeah, now it worked. Okay. So you can actually see I'm now connected to GitHub directly inside of Netlify, because all of these repositories are my GitHub repositories. So I simply click on this guy here, super fancy website. And I just scroll down and I click deploy super fancy website. Now it's deploying. What is this? This means that the website is now copied from GitHub over to Netlify. And there is actually a connection now between GitHub and Netlify. And let me show you what I mean. But anyway, now it's a site deploy in progress, as you can see here. And once the deployment process is done, you will be able to see that this changes from site deploy in progress to ready or done or something like that. So let's just see here. And it's thinking, then just refresh. Oh, now it's done. Okay. So now it's done. And what you will notice is that it says stalwart, starburst, something, .netlify.app. So when I go over here to refresh super fancy website .netlify.app, I won't see anything. And even if I go over here and I copy this with the HTML part, the entire URL, I won't see anything because this is called super fancy website, and inside of Netlify it's called this intermediary. So I need to rename my site in Netlify. I'm sorry it's so advanced and detailed, but that's just how it works. So site configuration, let me go back if you didn't catch it. This button here, I click on site configuration. I click on this button called change site name, and I rename it to super fancy websites. So you can actually see that the URL is changing down here, super fancy website.netlify.app. You see here, I click save. And let's see what happens. Good. Now I see my super fancy website. And this is awesome, guys, because I can click up here and I can inspect the specs for this page. I have a domain authority of 93 and a page authority of 43. It's a super strong website, super strong links that you can make with Netlify and GitHub and YACSS. So Netlify, the process of uploading and deploying websites to Netlify, it's not easy. It's not for beginners. I just showed you how to do it with YACSS and GitHub. But if you don't have YACSS, and then of course you can do it, but it's not for beginners. And the point with this is that not many will be actually deploying websites to Netlify. So you have an advantage because the link that you can get from Netlify, not many of your competitors are getting this link because it's an advanced process, like I just showed you. So yeah, there you have it, guys. I just want to show you one last thing with regards to Netlify. Because if I go to my uploads, inside of my uploads, I can see all of the websites that I uploaded in my account. And I can see here super fancy website.netlify.app is the website I uploaded. And because I uploaded it through GitHub, and GitHub talks to Netlify constantly, I can actually update this website. Even if YACSS is not directly connected to Netlify, I can still update it. Let me show you what I mean. So I can click the green button here, edit. And if I want to have a link to some content, I can go to content area 1 or 2 or 3, whatever, and I can insert a link. Some contentwebsite.com. Good. So now I have a link. I can click save and upload. Let's see what happens. So now page is uploaded successfully. So I now uploaded the updated website to GitHub. And if I go to GitHub, I can go into a super fancy website and I can actually see the HTML code has been updated. Where is it? Yeah, you can see here it says link to some content, super fancy website. Yeah, and some content website. That's the silly URL that I inserted here. So if I go to the site, super fancy website, let me just refresh. Now you can see it says link to some content, super fancy website, super fancy website. This is nice. This is super nice, because what this means is that you can actually, even if Netlify, it's not possible for us to integrate Netlify directly to YACSS. If you are clever, you do what I show you, you can actually still edit your Netlify websites through YACSS, because it talks to GitHub live in real time. So it's been a little bit long video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, this has been the connection video and upload video from Netlify, or from YACSS to GitHub to Netlify. Thank you.